Hi tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now presented by Tennis Express. Tennis Express, order today and it ships today. Two rising stars absolutely electrified the U.S. Open. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner lit it up at Arthur Ashe Stadium in a 5-hour, 15-minute nail-biter. Did you stay up to watch it? They played until almost 3 a.m. I fell asleep. It was epic, and it was the latest finish at the U.S. Open ever. At the end, it was 19-year-old Carlos Alcaraz falling to the court in exhaustion after defeating 21-year-old Italian Jannik Sinner 6-3, 6-7, 6-7, 7-5, 6-3 in a quarterfinal men's singles match that officially ended at 2:50 a.m. It is the second longest match ever played at the U.S. Open, and it was a thriller, including the shot of the tournament when Carlos Alcaraz pulled off a brilliant behind-the-back circus shot and won the point. It was incredible. In case you're wondering, the longest U.S. Open match, by the way, was 5 hours, 26 minutes. That was between Stefan Edberg and Michael Chang in 1992. But last night's match left us breathless and gave us a glimpse of what may well be a dazzling rivalry. The 11th-ranked Sinner had beaten Alcaraz in their prior two meetings, including at Wimbledon. But not last night. Alcaraz is now the youngest Grand Slam men's semifinalist since a 19-year-old Rafa Nadal won the 2005 Roland Garros. It could be a life-changing Open for Carlos. If he reaches the final and Casper Ruud does not, Alcaraz becomes the world #1 when the new ATP rankings come out on September 12th. If both Ruud and Alcaraz reach the final, the winner will be our new #1. Carlos is also bidding to become the youngest U.S. Open finalist and champion since a 19-year-old Pete Sampras won back in 1990. Coming up next for Carlos Alcaraz is American Frances Tiafoe in the semis on Friday, and Tiafoe is on fire. Earlier on Wednesday, Big Foe continued his brilliant run, beating Andrei Rublev in straight sets to become the first African-American man to reach the semifinals of the U.S. Open since Arthur Ashe way back in 1972. These young players are really coming on and developing some incredible rivalries. We talked to Carlos Alcaraz about just that a couple of days before the Open began, and he says Jannik Sinner is an amazing player and a very nice person off the court, and he thinks they're going to have a great rivalry going forward. In other tennis news, week 1 of the 2022 U.S. Open was a Serena Williams celebration. Champions, media, and fans all paid tribute to Serena Williams, who announced retirement, and it captivated the country. Serena's third-round loss to Aya Tomljanovic on Friday night not only set an Arthur Ashe Stadium attendance record, it shattered the record for the most watched match in ESPN's 43-year tennis history. An average of 4.6 million viewers tuned in to see Serena's farewell match, with the viewing audience peaking at 6.9 million viewers. Now, to put that number in perspective, the previous record for most viewed tennis match was 3.9 million viewers who tuned in for Roger Federer's win over Andy Murray in the 2012 Wimbledon final. However, not everybody was enthralled by the Serena show. 24-time Grand Slam champion Margaret Court took a couple of shots at Serena in an interview with the Daily Telegraph. While she says she respects Serena as a champion, Court does not feel Serena has reciprocated that respect. She questioned the U.S. Open, repeatedly referring to Serena as the greatest of all time. Margaret Court herself owns the all-time Grand Slam record of 24, and both Martina Navratilova and Steffi Graf also have a claim, along with Serena, of course, for GOAT. It's an ongoing argument among a lot of tennis fans. Margaret Court suggests that if she played in this era, she would have been a champion, and believes this era of tennis is actually a lot easier than when she played, because players now have many creature comforts not available to past generations, like first-class plane travel, entourages, physios, nutritionists, sports psychologists. They often bring along friends and family when they travel. Court says she would have loved that, but it just wasn't possible. She says it's a whole different world out there now, and says it makes her sad that today's players don't seem to honor the past of the game. Court also points out that she won the big tournaments after having children, and Serena wasn't able to do that. Now, we have no comments from Serena on all this. As for Court, she has been largely shunned by a big part of the tennis world after she found God, became a pastor, and spoke out against same-sex marriage. So in large part, she's been brushed aside. She's even said that she went to Wimbledon and no one spoke to her. That's another story. And another example of how speaking out for one's beliefs these days can get you canceled. Now back to the beginning of the story. It was a great week for Serena and her millions of fans all over the world. The tennis world will miss her, and we all wish her tons of luck in her next journey. I'm Grace Carter. See you next time here on Tennis Now.